Hello and welcome into the Stars and Pars podcast with your host, Evan Engel. This is the show where golf betting meets astrology. Today is June 2nd, 2026. And if you are new here, welcome. We have a lot of fun here. We talk astrology, we talk golf, and we talk betting picks for golf. So welcome in if you're new. If you are recurring, I appreciate every single one of you. Slowly but surely, we're growing the audience, a little bit here and there. So I feel pretty good about where we're at, despite me really not even marketing this podcast much, except through like Reddit. But we're gonna increase the marketing at some point. Real quick, I'm very unfamiliar with Discord, but I've been heavily considering starting one because I want a place where, if anybody even cares, I want a place where we can halfway through the tournament, day 1, day 2, day 3, or even the last day, whatever, we're talking astrology. Maybe I'm seeing who's in the mix that I didn't have, or we're talking about people who we did have who are in the mix, what astrology plays I could see. Because last weekend watching the end of the tournament with like Eric Cole and Mac Meissner in the mix, and then Henley obviously coming up and stealing the whole thing. I for a second I thought Eric Cole was really going to win it. He has a Mars and Pisces, and that was one of the biggest signs. That was actually the biggest sign I was after last week, with that full moon in Sagittarius lighting up the 10th house of career for Pisces placements. But there was like 5 or 6 guys around the top that like had Pisces in their chart. And once I realized, so Henley, well, I'm a little over the place right now. Henley has a Pisces midheaven, and the midheaven in your chart is kind of like dictates what you may end up doing in your career. It has to do with a lot of your career and like what you're maybe recognized for down the line in your life for your career. And Pisces midheaven being lit up by the Sagittarius full moon, that made so much sense. For some reason in my notes, I had him written down as a Aries midheaven, and Aries and Pisces are right next to each other on the zodiac wheel. So whatever site I originally got it from was wrong, and the other 2 sites I checked that I trust both said Pisces midheaven. So I was a little upset about that, because I would have 100% put Henley down as one of my picks if I knew that at the beginning of the week. So it is what it is. We live with it and we move on. Oh, and by the way, I'm using a microphone today. I'm usually on my AirPods, so hopefully this changes the sound quality, makes it even better. We shall see. My girlfriend gave this to me because she just bought one for her podcast that she just started. So we're both just trying to become a podcast king and queen, I guess. But she had an extra one and she gave it to me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, babe. Appreciate it. So let's see how it goes. Once I hit the playback, hopefully it's better than my AirPods. If not, I do have sound on my camera that I'll salvage, but it's not a huge deal. Just wanted to make a point of that. All right, let's get into last week, and then we'll move on to this week, and hopefully we're getting in and out of here in an hour. It's typically the time that I'm trying to get through this. But before I get into any of that, I do have to be annoying. Content creation, you guys, it's a grind. It's a long grind every single week for one episode I put out. I used to do 2, and I only do 1 now. But anyway, yeah, if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to my page, Stars and Pars, please do. I would really appreciate it. Just want to keep the page growing. I think I'm at like 79 subscribers right now, which I don't even really care about the numbers. I mean, like I do, but like I don't care. But I would like to get to like 100 subscribers, and then we can like breathe a little bit and like, work on getting to 200 and so on after that. But yeah, I appreciate if you would do that, and like and share while you're at it. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please subscribe or follow me there. And also, especially, well, on both, but especially on Spotify, please leave a 5-star rating. It takes 2 seconds. You go to my podcast page, you click the settings thing, rate podcasts, and click 5 stars. It takes you 2 seconds. Would really appreciate it if you value my picks or any information I get out there every week. I really appreciate you guys who have done that already. All right, boring stuff over. Let's move into the recap real quick about last week. Already talked about Russell Henley a little bit. He, on top of having a Pisces midheaven, which was the main sign I was after because it was a Scorpio moon to full moon in Sagittarius weekend, with some like the sun and Mercury were still in Gemini, which Mercury is changing now. Venus and Jupiter were still in Cancer, and Mars is still in Taurus. So I was after Scorpio, Libra, Sagittarius, and especially Aquarius and Pisces placements. Well, Henley has Pisces, he's got Cancer in his chart, and he has Gemini, Mars, and Jupiter. So that makes a lot of sense. Like I said, if I knew for a fact he did have the Pisces midheaven before the tournament, I would have 100% put him down because he was one of the favorites, and he had the main sign I was looking for, which was the Pisces placements. Yeah, but anyway, we'll get to that in another minute. But for the Corn Ferry Tour, well, I only put a few picks down. I wasn't like hell bent on winning that one, but the guy who did win his name is Alvaro Ortiz. He's a Mexican golfer. I don't have his rising and midheaven, but I do have his birthday, and he is a Scorpio Sun and Mercury, which makes sense because the moon started off in Scorpio for the tournament and then moved into Sagittarius, which is the second house of career, or second house of like finances and work related stuff for Scorpio, which is helps you play well. He's a Leo moon, so there's some fire to go with there. Also, Mars is in Taurus right now. Taurus lights up Leo's 10th house of career. And if you're watching this for the first time, you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about. Just know that in astrology, like look behind me if you're watching YouTube, there's a zodiac wheel behind me. Every single sign like has a house represented. Like hard to explain. Like I'm a Cancer rising, right? That's my ascendant. That's like the first part of you that comes off to people. So that's your first house. So if you're Cancer rising, your first house is Cancer. Your 10th house, if you're a Cancer rising, would be Aries. And you can kind of do the math on the wheel, and every single sign has like a house, a designate to it. There's 12 houses, and they all mean something different. You can Google it. It takes you 10 seconds to look up what they all mean. But when it comes to golf betting and astrology and just the pattern and recognition that I've, made over my years of doing this, anybody who wins typically has some sort of 10th house of career sign in their chart, or like a first house. It's usually one of those two or a combination of both. So finishing off with Alvaro Ortiz's chart, he has Scorpio Sun and Mercury, a Leo moon, and then he was a Sagittarius Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. There you go. It was a full moon in Sagittarius that lit up pretty much all of his chart. Again, I don't have his rising in midheaven, but I'm assuming it all flowed pretty well to obviously get him the W. But that's just another example of astrology absolutely like proving true to these winners every single week, and it continues to just blow my mind every single week. And then on the DP World Tour, a guy I've never heard of, Kota Kaneko, a Japanese golfer, he won. And I would really curious to know his rising in midheaven because the rest of his chart makes a little bit of sense, but not all the sense. He's a Virgo Sun and Mars, which Virgo and Sag don't like get along, and Virgos weren't my main play of the week last week, but because it's Gemini season, Gemini lights up Virgo's 10th house of career. So he's already got Virgo Sun and Mars. And Taurus is in Mars right now as well. Taurus and Virgo are both Earth. And when they line up in like the Mars sign, I think that really has a big play. A big part of the story in terms of winning a tournament. His moon and Jupiter were Leo. And like I said, Mars is in Taurus right now. Taurus lights up Leo's 10th house of career. Also, Sag is fire that goes along with Leo. And then his Mercury and Venus are Libra. And there is a couple Cancer placements right now in the current transits right now. Cancer lights up Libra's 10th house of career. So he did have a lot of 10th house stuff. I'm curious if his rising or midheaven had to do with like Pisces or something, because that was the main sign I was looking for. But just looking at his chart, it does make a lot of sense. I would love to know his rising and midheaven, but it's all good. I can live with it. And then we talked about Henley. And then let's go over what we did have right, because believe it or not, even though I completely got trashed in the DP World Tour and the PGA, we did come away with a little bit of profit. And like I said, golf betting any given week, if you come away with 1 unit profit, it's a W in my opinion, because this sport, not only in my opinion, is the hardest to go out and play yourself, but it is the hardest to bet on as well, because it's just so inconsistent, so unpredictable. Anybody could seriously win any given week. And that is why astrology, for me, makes a ton of sense to use to bet on golf. So let's get into what we did hit. So talking about Live Korea real quick first. Obviously, we had the winner. If you listened, I took Joaquin Niemann. I did not take John Rahm. I talked about him. I thought he would have a big play, big part of the say, this week, but he was riding the bottom of, not the bottom, but he was like kind of mid this week. He couldn't really break par. Like, it was kind of funny to see and shocking, honestly. But we did have Joaquin Niemann. We got to hit at plus 1300. So that was definitely nice. All that Scorpio in his chart, Cancer moon, Aquarius rising. And then he has a Sagittarius Mercury and a Pisces Jupiter. And that was really what we were going after, Sag and Pisces. So that was nice to see him get that W. And then the top 5, we also took Joaquin Niemann at plus 255. So we got, a couple units and a half back from that. We did have Lucas Herbert top 10 at plus 215. And then I did two double chance bets, and they both had Niemann in them. It's first one was Joaquin or Herbert to win at plus 930, check mark, and the other one was Niemann or Answer to win at plus 980. Those were like two more basically pretty much like outright numbers. So that was really big for the recovery of the losses for the other tournaments. Almost hit the head-to-head matchup parlay, but like I had Rahm over Bryson, and Bryson actually played way better than I thought he would. And then I had Cam Smith over Leishman, which looked so good until the last day when Cam just absolutely just I think he hit one of the water, and after that he was just checked out. He never recovered. He just went downhill after that. And then the only other thing we hit was top rest of the world, Joaquin Niemann at plus 490. So we did pretty good with Live. And yeah, so that was pretty good. And then the LPGA, we did also get the winner, Celine Boutier, the French golfer, at plus 1900. So that put us in the profit pretty much for the whole week, despite all the other losses. But like I said, barely in the profit. But she, like I said, Sagittarius was the main player of the week. Her Mars is Sagittarius, so that was big time. She had a ton of Scorpio in her chart, which was great with everything happening. Libra moon, there's some Cancer in the sky that lights up Libra's 10th house of career. So it was looking good. And she's a Capricorn rising, and Mars is in Taurus right now. So she had a load of that to rely on. Cap and Taurus go really well together. So yeah, that was about the best we did. Like I said, DP World Tour, we got cleaned up. I don't think I hit one thing on the DP World Tour. So that was a little shocking, but I don't know. DP World Tour is getting a little tricky to predict these days. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully we get back on track this week though. But for the PGA, yeah, we were big on Hideki. We had Hideki in the mix. We had Matt Meissner in the mix. Harmon was there for our second until he petered out. Mackenzie Hughes was around there. I had Mackenzie, and then yeah, it was pretty much all we had in play on the final day. And I was really worried about Eric Cole, but then Henley out of nowhere came and took the whole thing to himself. So that was cool to watch, but a little upsetting I didn't have him. But in the top 10, we did get Mac Meissner at plus 420. Smoke up. So that was cool to see that. And then top 20, we got Mackenzie Hughes at plus 305. So we won like a little something back for those two right there. And then besides that, didn't hit anything else. So like I said, thank you to Celine Boutier and Joaquin Niemann and all those double chance bets I took, because those literally saved me from going negative last week. So we barely made profit. I'll take it as a W. But yeah, that's kind of that's what happens. Like I bet, I know I take a lot of picks. I take a lot of bets. I kind of just spread the chips out. Like I say, it's like roulette. I play it like roulette. Spread your chips out. If you hit one, you make a little bit of profit and you just keep it rolling. So that is that. All right. Let's get into this week now, ladies and gentlemen. We are already 14 minutes into this and I'm behind pace. So let's talk about this week's transits. Because we do have a few new, well, not a few, just one new transit. So basically we're in Gemini season still, at least for another few weeks. So the sun is still in Gemini, but Mercury, as of yesterday, June 1st, has now switched from Gemini into Cancer, where Venus is still currently in Cancer, and as well as Jupiter. So now we have 3 Cancer placements happening. So that's big time, obviously, for Cancer placements in general, and also Libras, because Libras get the 10th house of career boost from Cancer. So Libras and Cancers are definitely on my radar this week. Oopsie, I don't want to make extra noise by hitting stuff. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this microphone. Like, I have to like lean down and like, if you're not watching, I have to like lean down and like keep it 2 to 6 inches away from my mouth, because that's what the instructions said. Whereas I just had my AirPods in back in the day. So we'll see how this goes. Anyway, yes, this week. Okay. So Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter in Cancer. Just know that. And then Mars is still in Taurus for at least a few more weeks. The moon is going to be in Capricorn all day Wednesday, which is when Live and the DP World Tour will start later in the evening on Wednesday, tomorrow night. Then at 6:47 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday. So pretty much, halfway through. Yeah, about halfway through the first round, because where are they at this week? Are they in Ohio? Don't quote me on that. Anyway, 6:47 a.m. Pacific time, 9:47 Eastern, the moon will go into Aquarius. So I'm just kind of counting Thursday as an Aquarius moon day. It's going to stay there all day Thursday, all day Friday, and pretty much most of Saturday, because the moon, again, shifts into a new sign about every 2.5 days. So on Saturday evening at 5:44 p.m. Pacific time, which would be 8:44, pretty much round 3 should be over by this point. The moon will be shifting into Pisces, and it's going to be there all day Sunday, obviously, for the winning time Sunday. So it's basically 3 days of Aquarius and then a Pisces moon. And obviously with the Gemini happening right now, that's like a double Aquarius, double air, Gemini Aquarius, Gemini Aquarius, Gemini Aquarius, and then Gemini Pisces finish on Sunday. So what does this mean? Well, Virgos still get the boost all month long from the Gemini sun, because that's their 10th house of career. And Leos and Tauruses get a boost from Mars and Taurus currently. But this is a big week for Cancer, because there's 3 Cancer placements happening, Libra, because there's 3 Cancer placements happening, and Libra is an air sign. So Gemini and Aquarius are going to be feeding, Libra will be feeding right off of those 2 signs for the first 2.5 days or 3 days or whatever. And then Aquarius is my next play, obviously, because their moon's going to be here for the bulk of the tournament. And then the 2 main signs, though, that I'm going to be after are Taurus and Gemini, because the Aquarius moon lights up the 10th house of career for Taurus. And also Taurus has their sign in Mars currently right now. So Taurus is get a really big boost this week, but Gemini's probably get the biggest of the, if we're talking like who I think will be there on Sunday, Pisces lights up Gemini's 10th house of career. And also it is Gemini season. So if you have Virgo, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, or Pisces, or Libra, or Aquarius in your chart, you probably are on my radar. But that being said, this was a weird week when I did my research. Like, I'm not too confident in any of these picks, because it's a little bit has to do with like the timing of like when the moon comes in and out, but also like a lot of these guys, like, I don't know, like I don't love most of these charts, but I did get I get it to a certain point of enough players that I feel confident enough to kind of get into. So yeah, so that's basically where I'm at. Let's move on now. We're gonna get into our picks finally. And the first tournament we're gonna do is the Champions Tour American Family Insurance. It's gonna be like 2 seconds. You know why? Because I'm going with the favorites. It's like I think it's a team tournament, a duo tournament this week, and the 2 best golfers on the Champions Tour are teaming up. They are plus 150. My God, is that a horrible number? But if you're only gonna take that, you can put a little something into it, like a little more than normal. I think it's worth it. Zach Johnson and Stuart Sink are teaming up, and they are plus 150. Zach Johnson is a Pisces sun in midheaven, Capricorn moon, Gemini rising in Mars, Aquarius, Mercury, and Venus, and an Aries, Jupiter. He's got Pisces, he's got Gemini, he's got Aquarius. That's all I needed to say. Check. Stuart Sink is a Gemini sun, Mercury, and Venus, Capricorn moon, Leo rising, Taurus, midheaven, Pisces, Mars, and Aquarius, Jupiter. I don't even know. I'm so confident these guys are going to win that like I literally might throw like the house on it. I mean, like, not really, but like I'm going to go a little crazy, because I didn't even bother looking at anyone else besides these 2. Stuart Sink is like Scotty Scheffler of the Champions Tour right now, and Zach Johnson is like the Rory of the Champions Tour. These two are always in the mix, and they're teaming up. So I don't know what more convincing I need to give you guys. I'm going big on Zach Johnson and Stuart Sink because the Aquarius is going to light up both of their charts. Gemini season lights up both their charts. Cancer really helps out them as well. And then on Sunday, the Pisces moon is going to light up their charts exquisitely. Like exquisitely. They both have Gemini and Pisces and Aquarius. So that's that. I'm moving on to Live Golf now. We are at 20 minutes and 28 seconds. Okay. Sorry, writing down my timestamps for you guys. Hopefully the breathing's not too bad in this mic. I know I feel like I'm breathing kind of heavy. All right, Live Golf, Andalusia. We are in Spain this week. So obviously you'd think, all right, John Rahm, right? John Rahm or David Puig. Well, no, I'm actually I'm fading both. And if John Rahm wins, I've already accepted it. This was kind of me last week as well. But he didn't look right. I don't know if he's going to find it right away and within a 1 week turnaround time. But I do like the other guys I wrote down. I'm going to go Thomas Detry is my first pick at plus 2250. He's a Cap Sun, Midheaven, and Mercury. Libra, Moon, and Jupiter. Remember, Libra's a big sign this week. Aries rising, Pisces, Venus, that's the one, and a Cancer, Mars. Kind of was mid. Now he was like not mid. He was like over par last week, but Detry is a guy that can, I don't know, he can just find it sometimes out of nowhere. But I like his chart a lot better this week than I did last, so let's see how it goes. Next up is Dean Burmester at plus 2,700. Gemini Sun, Venus, Jupiter, and Midheaven. Lots of Gemini in there. Taurus, Moon, and Mercury. That's one of the main signs I'm after. Virgo rising all month long is big time. And Cancer, Mars. Plus 2,700. I really like Burmester this week. Next up is Jose Luis Ballester, who I do believe is Spanish as well. So we do have a Spaniard in there. Plus 3,200. Leo, Sun, Venus, Jupiter, and Midheaven. Yes, a lot of Leo. But there's a Taurus Mars, that's big time. And Gemini's good with it. Cancer's not great with Leo, but he's a Taurus moon, that's great with Aquarius. He's a Scorpio rising, that is good with Cancer. So that he does have something in there. Virgo Mercury, that's great because it's a career sign for this month, and then a Pisces Mars. And again, the moon will be in play during the final round late Saturday night when they're playing. In Pisces, and his Mars is Pisces, so that's big time. So I really like Jose Luis Ballester. Next up is Charles Howell III, plus 3,900. Gemini Sun, Venus, and Midheaven. Taurus Moon and Mars. Virgo rising, Cancer Mercury, and a Leo Jupiter. Just with all that Gemini, the Taurus, the Virgo, and the Cancer, it's just this. It's a good look, and I think he came off a really good week last week too. So I think he will keep it rolling. Two more. Harold Varner, plus 9,600. We're getting a little longer now. Leo, Sun, and Venus. Gemini, Moon. Libra rising. Cancer, Midheaven, and Jupiter. Virgo, Mercury. Taurus, Mars. A lot of career stuff in that chart for Mr. Varner. Played good last week, and again, I don't know. I think he's gonna roll. He's gonna be rolling this next week. So let's see. And lastly, I'm gonna go Anthony Kim, plus 9,600. Gemini, Sun, and Midheaven. Cancer, Moon, Mercury, and Mars. Like I said, there's a lot of Cancer in the sky right now. He's got a lot of Cancer in his chart. Virgo rising, huge all month long. Taurus, Venus, and Aquarius, Jupiter. Honestly, probably the best looking chart out of all of these guys. But it's AK. And, he won a tournament earlier this year. Yes, he's made a huge comeback. But he's been a little in mid lately. But, we'll see. This guy, if he can do anything, he can definitely turn it on out of nowhere. And I think proving to himself that he can come back after like 12 years of not playing, coming back, facing the backlash, facing the criticism, whatever, and then getting a big W against Bryson and John Rahm in the final group, that whatever tournament it was a few months ago. I think he could win any given week. I think he's back. I think he can do it. So we'll see. So those are my outrights for the Live. I'm keeping it short this week, trying to see if this, gives me good fortune instead of taking a million names. So top 10, I'm going to go Dean Burmester plus 166. I hate the number, but feels pretty good to me. And then Charles Howell at plus 200 to finish in the top 10. Sign me up. Top 20, I'm going to go Anthony Kim at plus 130 and Harold Varner at plus 134. So again, really bad numbers, but let's just, I'm just trying to get some W's this week. You know what I'm saying? First round leader, I'm going to go Detry. I don't know why I wrote Dieter. Derek Detry. Thomas Detry at plus 2,500 for the first round. Again, they're playing round one under Capricorn moon. I don't know when the tournament's going to end because it might end when the moon's moving into Aquarius. Don't quote me on that, but I think it'll be a fully under a Capricorn moon tomorrow night. So I like Detry's chart to do well under a Capricorn moon and a Gemini sun. I also like Dustin Johnson at plus 2,900. He does have Aries. He does have Virgo, but I don't have him written down to win. Yeah, it's all well. No, something there. I gotta look up his chart now. There was something in his chart that just made me go, eh. So let me see here. He's a Cancer sun, Mercury and Venus, Aries moon, Virgo rising, Gemini midheaven, Scorpio Mars, Capricorn Jupiter. Maybe the Scorpio Mars kind of threw me off, but now I'm like, ugh. Can DJ win? What's his number? Let's look it up. He is plus 3,000. All right. We're gonna add DJ. Making a live ad here. What are we doing? Copy paste. There we go. Okay. Plus 3,000. I'm adding DJ to the outright list just because he does have Gemini in his chart and a lot of Cancer, and that is kind of what we're going for. So, all right. So I do like him still in the first round though, plus 2,900. And then my first round leader pick is going to be Caleb Surratt at plus 4,900. Pisces sun, Aquarius moon, Aries rising of Mercury, Capricorn midheaven, Taurus, Venus, and Mars, Virgo, Jupiter. Dear God, he might even have a chance to win it too. What am I doing, you guys? What is Caleb's outright number? 9,200? All right. Screw it. We'll add it. There goes my thing about not having too many guys this week. All right. Caleb Surratt added to the outright list, plus 9,200. DJ as well. So I got Detry, Burmester, DJ, Jose Luis Ballester, Charles Howell, Caleb Surratt, Harold Varner, and Anthony Kim. That's still pretty decent for live, whatever. And my first round leader guys are Detry, DJ, and Caleb Surratt. Let's move the hell on because I'm spending way too long on this stupid tournament. Okay. So let's move on to the DP World Tour. If I can just find my stupid notes. All right. DP World Tour. A little nervous about the DP World Tour because I'm getting cleaned up lately. There's about 150 players. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 14 guys. Fight me. I don't care. I take 10% of the field or less. That's my goal every week. I'm going Angel Iora this week, plus 1,900. He is a Libra sun, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter. Lots of Libra because lots of Cancers going on right now. Gemini moon, that's great. Leo Venus, that's great. Sag Mercury or Sag midheaven, we'll see. Pisces rising though. If that is correct, I'm not 100% sure on that, but if that is correct, then that should be okay. Let's see how it goes. I like the number for Angel Iora because he's usually way lower than plus 1,900. Next up is Jakob Skava Lesson, plus 2,900. Gemini sun, Mercury and midheaven, Scorpio moon, Leo rising, Cancer Venus, Libra Mars, Aries Jupiter. That's why I like that Libra Mars with that Aquarius. And if he's there around the weekend, that Pisces will light up the Gemini and the Scorpio in his chart. So I like that a lot. We shall see. I'm going to do a little... How to restart my camera. We're still rolling. We're rolling. Okay. Next up is Ewan Ferguson, plus 3,200. Cancer sun, and Mercury, Pisces moon and rising, Sag midheaven, Gemini Venus and Mars, Capricorn Jupiter. Pisces, Cancer, Gemini. Yeah, that's a good chart. So I like Ewan Ferguson. Also like Mikhail Lindbergh, plus 3,500. Cap sun and Mercury, Virgo moon, Taurus rising, Aquarius midheaven, Pisces, Venus, Cancer, Mars, and a Libra Jupiter. That is a spicy chart for this week. Taurus, Virgo, Aquarius, Pisces, Cancer, and Libra. That's literally 5 or 6 of the 6 signs I'm after. So watch out for Lindbergh. Next up is Antoine Rosner, who I'm really starting to like lose a lot of faith in because this guy should be playing much better than he actually is. He was just outside like the top 20 last week, I think, but plus 4,100 this week. Aquarius Sun, Scorpio Moon, Gemini Rising, Pisces Midheaven and Mercury, Aries Venus, Cancer Mars, and a Libra Jupiter. So if he's there on the weekend and the Pisces Moon comes in, it should be full go for Antoine Rosner, but take that with a very, very small grain of salt. Next up, I'm going to go Sami Valimaki at plus 4,600, Cancer Sun, Mars and Midheaven, Aries Moon, Libra Rising, Leo Mercury, Gemini Venus, and a Pisces Jupiter. I love that Pisces. I love that Gemini, all that Cancer, and a Libra too. I think Valimaki should definitely have a good go this week. I also like Alejandro Del Rey at plus 5,000, Aquarius Sun and Mercury, Libra Moon, Gemini Rising, the trifecta of all 3 air signs, and it is a lot of air going on this week. Pisces, Midheaven, Mars, and Jupiter, Capricorn, Venus. Alejandro Del Rey, I call him ADR, just easier to say. Hell of a chart. Hell of a chart this week. Okay, watch out for him. Also like Eddie Pepperell, plus 5,400. Aquarius Sun, Venus, and Midheaven, Aries Moon, Taurus Rising, Capricorn Mercury, Gemini Mars, Leo Jupiter. Just a lot of Aquarius, a lot of Taurus, and the Gemini Mars. Three of the main career signs I'm after. That's a really good look. Now the next 3 guys, I don't think I've really ever taken before. So this is the first time for the Stars and Pars podcast. We're taking 3 new guys on the DP World Tour. The first one is Gregorio de Leo, who was a top 5 finisher last week, plus 5,700. Aries Sun and Venus. It's good because the first day is a Capricorn Moon, so that lights up Aries' 10th house of career. Gemini Moon, Pisces Rising and Mercury, Sagittarius Midheaven, Taurus Mars and Jupiter. A lot of Taurus, a lot of Pisces. Gemini played great last week. We'll see if he can do it again this week. Next up is JC Ritchie, South African, plus 6,000. Pisces Sun, Venus, and Midheaven. Leo Moon, Gemini Rising, Aquarius, Mercury, and Mars, and a Scorpio Jupiter. So he's got Aquarius, the Pisces, he's got Leo, he's got Gemini. That's enough for me to say, yep, let's see how it goes. Next up is Darius Van Driel, plus 6,100. Gemini Sun, Venus, and Jupiter. Leo Rising, Taurus Moon, Mercury, and Midheaven, and a Cancer Mars. All 4 of those signs are part of the 6 that I'm really after this week. So Van Driel has a stellar chart. I'm very high on Van Driel this week. And you'll see I have him a lot more down below. Matthew Jordan's next, plus 6,900. Cap Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Jupiter. Taurus Sun, Aquarius, Midheaven, and Mars, and a Pisces Venus. Dude, Matthew Jordan. Dude, such a good chart as well, man. Honestly, the chart's just getting better in DP World Tour as we go down the list. And the last 2 are still really good too. So the last 2 for the DP World Tour are Grant Forrest at plus 7,400. Gemini Sun, Moon, and Midheaven, Virgo Rising, Cancer Mercury, Taurus Venus, Leo Mars, and a Libra Jupiter. Gemini, Virgo, Taurus, Leo, Libra, Cancer, sign me up. And lastly, Andy Sullivan, plus 7,800, Taurus Sun, Midheaven, and Venus, Aquarius Moon, Gemini, Mercury, and Mars, and Aries Jupiter. I can't remember the last time this guy's ever won a tournament, but that's a really good chart. He does tend to spike time to time, so maybe this is one of the weeks he's there. All right. So those are my guys. I'm not going to repeat them. You can go back and rewind if you want. Top 5, I'm going to go Darius Van Driel, or DVD, as I have here as his abbreviation, plus 980 to finish in the top 5. It's a little bit of a long shot, but I'm just putting 1 unit on it. That'd be awesome to win like 9.8 units back from that. We'll see. Give me top 10. I'm going to go Alejandro Del Rey, ADR, at plus 425. I just love his chart. And also Darius Van Driel at plus 465. I'm going to ladder DVD here just because I love his chart. Top 20, give me ADR at plus 210. Give me Pepperell at plus 200. Give me Gregorio de Leo at plus 225. And Matthew Jordan at plus 240 to finish in the top 20. Yeah, so keeping kind of simple there, not going crazy. Just trying to limit my picks this week a little bit. First round leader, I only got 4 guys. Believe it or not, I'm going to go Mikhail Lindbergh at plus 5,100. Again, they're playing under a Capricorn moon to start. Mikhail's got Capricorn in his chart, really all the earth signs, so that's a good look. And then I like Gregorio De Leo at plus 6,600 with the Aries that he has in his chart. And then Matthew Jordan at plus 7,800 with a ton of Capricorn in his chart, and that's where the moon's going to be on Wednesday night. And then Nathan Kimsey at plus 5,100 does have some Aries and Cancer in his chart. I do believe there's enough Cancer, and the Cap moon will light up the Aries in his chart, so you maybe give him a good boost for round 1. Top rest of the world, give me JC Ritchie at plus 1,600. We're kind of just throwing darts here now for these placements. Top continental European, Gregorio De Leo at plus 3,000, and also Darius Vandria at plus 3,100. Hopefully one of those two guys is the top continental European, because those are basically outright numbers. Top French, give me Antoine Rosner at plus 465. Top Italian, I'm going to go Gregorio De Leo at plus 410. Top Nordic, give me Skava Lesson at plus 490. Mikhail Lindbergh at plus 570. And Sami Valimaki at plus 670. So one of those hits that covers all 3 of those, and then some. Top South African, I'm going to go JC Ritchie at plus 820. Just love that number. Top Scottish, give me Grant Forrest at plus 520. Top Spanish, give me Angel Iorta at plus 285, and give me ADR at plus 640. So hopefully something in there hits this week, because we've been a little cold in the DP World Tour the last few weeks. So yeah. All right. Anyway, we're gonna move on now to the LPGA US Women's Open. I love this tournament. I love all both the US Opens for the men's and women. And they're playing at Riv this year, which I've been to Riv. It's a dope course. So definitely excited to watch this one. When I saw the Pisces moon finish and the Aquarius, like my first pick in my mind was actually going to be Gino Thickhole, but she's got like a Sagittarius, Mars, and there was something else in her chart in love. And I just like looked at Nelly Korda, who's just killing it right now. And it's hard to fade Nelly this week, especially like, it's a US Open. So she's going to be ready. She's a Leo Sun and Mercury, which again, they get the 10th house boost of career from Taurus and Mars right now. Libra rising and moon. There's a lot of Cancer in the sky. Again, that lights up the Libra's 10th house of career. Cancer, midheaven, Venus, and Mars. There it is. There's a lot of Cancer happening. She's got a lot of Cancer in her chart. And this was like the cherry on top. She's a Pisces Jupiter, which is where the moon will be on Sunday. I can't see Nelly Korda losing. It's kind of a weird week because there's like, I feel like the dominant players across all the tournaments might be winning them this week. Well, maybe not all of them, but definitely the PGA. We'll get to there. It's Scotty week. Anyway, Nelly is plus 350, so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna throw several units on this one. We'll see, but I feel pretty good about her. So we're going to talk about the winner without Nelly Korda market, which I think it's without Nelly. Without Nelly, Hannah Green, Hyo-Joo Kim, Gino Thickhole, and Ronning Yin, which I'm fine with those being, the market being without those girls, because Hyo-Joo Kim has been killing it this year, but I didn't love her chart. And Ronning Yin definitely probably might play the best out of those besides Nelly, because she does have some Gemini in her chart. But I'm cool with like not having any of those girls in the winner without market. So here's who I do like in the winner without market. I'm going to go Se-Young Kim at plus 2,800. Tell me these are the right numbers, right? I believe so. She's now plus 3,000. Well, that changed. I mean, I put these down like a few hours ago, but okay. So Se-Young Kim's plus 3,000 in the without market. Aquarius, Sun, and Midheaven, Capricorn, Moon, and Mercury, Taurus, Rising, Pisces, Venus, Cancer, Mars, Libra, Jupiter. That's a really good chart. I guess a really good chart. Se-Young Kim has been playing pretty decent this year. She does play pretty well in California. She was in a mix for the El Cab tournament, which want to say it was the GM Eagle tournament. So we'll see how Seyoung comes out. I'm also going to go Aki EY. And if you go one twin or one person with a similar chart, you got to go with the other. So I'm taking both EY sisters, Aki and Shizzy EY, who are both twins and have the exact same charts. They're pretty much the exact same number. Aki's 3,400, Shizzy's 3,300. They're both Cancer Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Midheaven, Taurus Moon, Libra Rising, Mercury and Gemini, Venus Leo. The only career placement for Pisces they have is the Mercury and Gemini. That's fine. But they do have a lot of Cancer, Taurus Moon, and Libra to get through the Aquarius stuff. I really like them both a lot this week. So watch out for the EY sisters. Again, in the winner without market. And see if their numbers. See, their numbers are changing. They're both 3,600 now. What the? All right, well, whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I do want to keep track of this when I'm saying it. Okay, Jin Hee Im is my next pick in the winner without market. Well, I gotta look up the number to make sure. She's plus every dude. That's so crazy. All these numbers like increased. She was 4,100. Now she's 4,400 in the winner without market. She's a Gemini Sun and Rising, Taurus Moon, Mercury and Mars, Aries, Venus, Aquarius, Jupiter, Pisces. That's one of the best charts of all these women that I've read off so far. Jin Hee Im should 100% be in the mix, but knock on wood, you never know. Minami Katsu will be my next play, and she's plus 4,800. Man, all of these numbers change. I wonder if something happened that I'm not following here. She's 4,800 in the winner without market, Cancer, Sun, and Midheaven, Libra, Moon, and Rising, Leo, Mercury, Gemini, Venus, and Mars, Pisces, Jupiter. That's another stellar chart. Like, absolutely another stellar chart. Next up is Ayaka Fortier, who just got another boost in her number. She's now plus 4,700, was 4,400. Gemini, Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, Pisces, Moon, Aquarius, Rising, Scorpio, Midheaven, Taurus, Jupiter. Getting repetitive with all these Geminis, Pisces, Aquarius placements, and Taurus placements, but you're getting the idea. This is why I go after a lot of the same signs. Next up will be Rose Zhang, who is now 5,300. And Rose Zhang went to UCLA, which is pretty much down the street from Riv, so I have to think she's played this before. So I'm really banking on that. Gemini Sun, Pisces Moon, Leo Rising and Jupiter, Taurus, Midheaven, Mercury, and Venus, and Aquarius Mars. Dude, Rose Zhang, like, have a week. Please have a week. You deserve it with that chart. Two more. Andrea Lee at plus 5,900. She was 5,500. This is crazy. Somebody must have dropped out or something the last hour or two. This is wild that all these numbers have shifted so much. Leo, Sun, Mercury, and Venus, Gemini, Moon, and Midheaven, Virgo, Rising, Cancer, Mars, Jupiter, Pisces. Stellar chart. Lastly, Lynn Grant, who is now plus 7,000. She was 6,400. What on earth? Not that I'm complaining that these numbers got bigger, but something must have happened that I'm not aware of. Gemini, Sun, and Midheaven, Virgo, Moon, and Rising, Cancer, Mercury, Leo, Venus, Libra, Mars, Aries, Jupiter. It's a good chart. It's a good chart. So we'll see how it goes. So those are my picks in the winner without market. I'm really curious what happened here. Nellie's now plus 342, so she dropped down barely. Yeah, I don't know. Very strange. All right. Moving on to my placement picks, and then we're going to get out of here after the PGA. Okay. It's top 10. Seyoung Kim plus 340. Jin Hee Im plus 440. And Minami Katsu plus 485. I am in no way, shape, or form thinking they're all three going to finish in the top 10. But if one of them does, or both, or two of them do, I will be the happiest man in the world. Top 20, give me Rose Zhang at plus 194. Should I take Rose Zhang in the top 10 now? I'm thinking about it out loud. Rose Zhang, where are you? Plus 490. All right, screw it. Adding Rose Zhang plus 490 to be in the top 10. So hopefully one of these now definitely picks of those four. Top 20, Rose Zhang plus 194. Minami Katsu plus 200. Andrea Lee at plus 200. And Lynn Grant at plus 250. Hopefully something hits there. First round leader, I'm going to go Nelly Korda at plus 1375. Again, they're probably going to be playing under the Aquarius Moon for the most part on Thursday. That goes really good with her chart. I like Lydia Ko at plus 4,100 as well. She does have Taurus and an Aquarius Jupiter in her chart. We'll see. Aki EY and Shizzy EY, we're taking both. I'm never making that mistake again. plus 5,400 for Aki, plus 6,100 for Chizzy, unless those numbers change. I'm not really going to go through and look at them right now. But both of those girls have amazing charts for day one, especially. I also like Se-Young Kim in the first round at plus 5,200 with the Aquarius and Capricorn in her chart. Jin Hee Im at plus 6,400 just has an amazing chart for all 4 days. So we'll see how that goes. And then Rosang at plus 7,400 is my final first round leader pick. And with that, we're going to move on because we're already at 45 minutes and this is going longer than I wanted. So we're going to the main event now. PGA Memorial. All right. Nice. All right. So I already mentioned a little bit. This could be a Scotty week. And now this will be my third time this year really being adamant about Scotty. The first 2 times have not panned out very well at all. So I'm taking a little bit more caution with this one, but it's hard to not take Scotty, especially when all the other podcasts I listen to, a lot of people are big on Scotty this week, which worries me, but he's plus 315. Last time I checked, let's check again because apparently things have changed since I put this down. Yeah, he's plus 315. Okay. That's what I had him at. Scotty is a Cancer sun. Like I said, there's 3 Cancer placements happening right now. He's a Virgo moon and rising. It is Gemini season, so it's lighting up his Virgo's 10th house of career, and then he's a Gemini midheaven, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Ton of Gemini. Jupiter Capricorn is fine. He won the Amex during Aquarius season, so we know he can win under Aquarius, which is a fellow air sign. So I'm not worried about him getting through day 1, 2, and 3 because it should light up most of his chart. And then on Sunday, if he's anywhere near the mix or running away with it by that point, it might be over because the Pisces moon will light up the Gemini part of his chart's 10th house of career. The Gemini sun lights up Virgo's 10th house of career. There's a ton of Cancer happening right now. He's got a lot of career influence this week. And when the number 1 player in the world has a lot of career energy potential happening that he can tap into, it's scary for the rest of the field. So plus 315, I'm going to hammer it because you have to when you take Scotty. But I do have winner without Scotty picks as well. So let's get into those and then we'll get out of here. And again, I'm just going to throw like small units on these ones because I'm going big on Scotty. But, you know, if any of these guys work out for DFS or whatever, like this part of the reason why I mentioned so many names, it's not just because I'm like taking them all outright, but like, you know, if you're building DFS lineups and you have certain pricing slots you need filled, maybe one of these guys can help you out there. So let's get into it. Winner without Scotty market, which I'll briefly check because apparently everything's changing super quickly right now. No, it's about the same. Cam Young's 1250. All right, I'm not going to look at those anymore. Cam Young will be my first play out of the winner without market. Plus 1250. Taurus sun, rising in Venus. That's one of the main signs I'm after. Gemini moon, Aquarius, Jupiter, and midheaven. Mercury in Aries, Mars, Virgo. Cameron Young won the Players' Championship during Aquarius moon. So we know he can play really well. It's the Pisces moon I'm a little worried about, but his Gemini moon, the 10th house of career for Gemini is Pisces. So if Cam's around the mix next to Scotty on the last day, maybe he finishes 2nd place. Maybe we get Scotty 1, Cam 2. Would be a great week. If I get Scotty 1 and any of these guys 2, man, we'll be happy. We'll be chilling. I'm going to go with last week's winner, Russell Henley, plus 1,700. I just can't see him slowing down. Aries, Sun, and Venus. Pisces, midheaven. Cancer, Moon, and Rising. A lot of Cancer happening. Taurus, Mercury. That's great for the Aquarius. Gemini, Mars, and Jupiter. He has the career house we're looking for. The career sign with the Pisces is coming in. And his midheaven is Pisces. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if Henley can go back-to-back or finish hopefully 2nd behind Scotty. I had Siwoo written down because he has a similar chart to Scotty, but his Jupiter Sagittarius, and Sag and Pisces don't love each other, but Pisces will light up most of Siwoo's chart. But I'm not going to take him in the winner without market. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't feel right to me. I will be taking Tommy Fleetwood at plus 2,800. Cap, Sun, and Mercury. Pisces, Moon. Taurus, Rising, and Mars. Aquarius, Midheaven, and Venus. Leo, Jupiter. You just love that Pisces moon. I love all the Taurus and Aquarius in his chart. I feel like Tommy could pop off this week. I'm going to go Patrick Cantlay, plus 2,350. I don't love it, but he's a Pisces sun and Venus. Virgo moon and Jupiter, Cancer rising, Aries, Mercury and midheaven, and Aquarius Mars. That's the big one right there. He plays well here, and that's why I wrote him down. So we'll see. I wrote Hideki down, but I don't think I'm going to take him. I didn't like the way he looked last week. I was really big on him last week. I'm going to say next up, though, we're going to a little longer. It's Keegan Bradley at plus 6,800. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Midheaven. Virgo rising, Cancer, Mercury, and Venus. A lot of Cancer happening. Capricorn, Mars, Pisces, Jupiter. That's big time. Watch out for Keegan, plus 6,800. In the without market, Gary Woodland's next, plus 5,700. Going a little out of order, sorry. Gemini, Sun, and Midheaven. Aquarius, Moon. That's literally Gemini, Aquarius is what the first 3 days of the tournament are going to be. Is he Taurus, Mercury, and Venus? That's huge with the Aquarius stuff. Mars, Scorpio gives me a little worry, but Scorpio is water and goes with all the Cancer that's happening. That's okay. Capricorn, Jupiter, plus 5,700. Having a good year. Let's see how it goes with Woodland. I'm going to go back to Akshay Bhatia, plus 6,800. I was on him last week. I think he should have a better week this week. Aquarius, Sun, Mercury, and Venus. Virgo, Moon, Gemini, Rising, Pisces, Midheaven, Aries, Mars, and Cancer, Jupiter. Yeah, if he's in the mix and that Pisces midheaven of his comes through, Gemini rising, Aquarius stuff, I love it. Watch out for Akshay. I also wrote down Justin Rose at plus 4,400. So we're going a little backwards now. Leo, Sun, and midheaven, Pisces moon. That's why I took him, because that moon's going to be in Pisces on Sunday. Scorpio rising does worry me. Cancer, Mercury, though, he has Cancer. That is where Mercury is right now, in Cancer. Gemini, Venus, so he does have a 10th house of career placement. Libra, Mars also gets lit up career-wise by all the Cancer happening, and his Jupiter is Virgo, which is lit up 10th house of career all month long by Gemini. I love Justin Rose actually a lot this week, so we'll see how that goes. And the Leo stuff, it gets lit up 10th house of career by Mars and Taurus. Holy crap. The only thing I don't love in his chart is the Scorpio rising, but if he can get through the first 3 days and he's around the mix on Sunday, I would be scared of Justin Rose if I did not have him. So I'm going to take him. Two more and then a couple long shots. Alex Noren at plus 6,600 also caught my eye. Cancer, Sun, Mercury, and Midheaven. Pisces, Moon, Gemini, Venus, Libra rising, and Mars. Scorpio, Jupiter. There's a lot of water and a lot of air in the sky right now. He is all water and air. And then on Sunday, it's going to be even more water and air. So he's got a lot of water and air, a lot of 10th house of career stuff and first house of career stuff, not career, first house of confidence stuff. Alex Noren, I feel like is not being talked about. I haven't heard him much talked about, but I love that chart. So I'm definitely going to write it down. Okay. And then Nick Taylor has been talked about a lot. Plus 8,600. This was a late ad for me. Aries, Sun, Mercury, and Midheaven. Taurus, Moon, and Jupiter. Cancer rising. Gemini, Venus, Aquarius, Mars. Does have Gemini, does have Aquarius, does have Taurus, and does have Cancer. It's the Aries stuff that gives me a little worries. Aries and Cancer are like 12 and 4 on the wheel. It's a little worrying. We'll see how it goes. But I love me some Nick Taylor. And he's probably getting ready for next week's RBC Canada Open. So we'll see. All right, 3 long shots. I'm sprinkling 0.2 units on these guys. Like basically like splitting a unit and a half on these guys, if that. I'm going to go Eric Cole, plus 11,000. I liked a lot how he played up until Sunday. Even on Sunday, he played okay, but you could tell he was really nervous. And you know what? He didn't even hit really that bad of a shot in the playoff. Like, Henley just darted it to like 5 feet, 4 feet. And Cole was like 10 to 15 feet, but it was a good actual chance, and he almost made it. But I think he's going to keep it rolling. Plus 11,000. This is still in the without Scotty market. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Midheaven. Talk about a lot of Gemini in that chart. My God. Virgo rising, 10th house of career all month long. Pisces, Mars. That's big for them. If he's near the mix on Sunday, it's going to light up his Mars. And Mars might arguably be the most important when it comes to someone's swing being intact, because it's about physicality. Mars is about physicality and drive and competitive edge, you know. But his Jupiter's Taurus, and that's going to be lit up 10th house of career by the Aquarius moon for the first 3 days. So I think Eric Cole, I think he's going to keep it rolling. I think he's playing kind of house money right now. He got into this tournament because of how well he played last week. So let's see if he could just keep the ball rolling. He's a very heavy mutable trait sign. And that is a mutable thing, is to just keep it rolling. Go with the flow, right? I also like Patrick Rogers at plus 20,000. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Mars, Virgo rising, and Jupiter. Gemini midheaven, Leo Mercury, Taurus Mars. I don't know. Something about P-Rod just similar to Scotty, similar to Siwoo. I just kind of like it. I have to take it. We'll see. And then my longest shot of the week is Mr. Tom Hoagie, plus 43,000. Gemini Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter, Aquarius Moon, Leo Rising, Taurus Midheaven, and a Mars Cancer. That could be a sneaky play for DFS. And, you know, sprinkle a little something in case he just has like the week of his life and finishes second behind Scotty. You know, we'll see. Top 5, I'm going Henley at plus 330. I'm going Fleetwood at plus 510. And I'm going to parlay Scotty and Henley to both be in the top 5 at plus 640. These are risky, so take those with a grain of salt. Top 10, give me Cantlay at plus 200. Give me Keegan at plus 450. Give me Boutier at plus 460. And then give me Scotty and Cantlay to finish the top 10 at plus 290. And give me Siwoo and Tommy at plus 700 to finish in the top 10. This is if Siwoo actually does play better than I think he does, so we'll see. Top 20, I'm going Eric Cole at plus 250. Just, again, I think he's going to keep it rolling. Going P-Rod at plus 360. I'm going Hoagie at plus 580. We're going a little long shot here for top 20. There's only 70-something guys in the field. And then 2 3-man parlays for top 20 finishes, so we'll see. Justin Rose, Gary Woodland, Akshay Bhatia, all to be in top 20 at plus 1,700. Oof. Really like that. And then the next one is Cam Young, Siwoo, and Cantlay, all to finish in the top 20 at plus 325. So that's a little safer, I guess. But dude, none of these parlays are ever safe. Just remind yourself of that. 2 double chance bets. I hate these, but Scotty or Henley at plus 250, and then Scotty or Cantlay at plus 250. So hopefully Scotty wins and we win both of those. And then my head-to-head matchup parlay of the week. We're close last week. I think we missed out on 1 or 2. We hit one a couple weeks ago, so I know we're possible. This one comes out to plus 5,500 this week, okay? I'm going Alex Smalley over Sepp Straka. I'm going Jay Rose over Adam Scott. Going Akshay Bhatia over Wyndham Clark. I'm going Fleetwood over Justin Thomas. Going Alex Noren over Harris English. Nikolai Højgaard over Matt McNeely, and Scotty Scheffler over Ludwig Aubert. Put it all together, it comes out to plus 5,500. First round leader, I'm going to go Scotty at plus 1175. This is Aquarius Moon stuff, by the way. I think he could come out and have a good, I think he can make putts is what I'm trying to say on day one. I'm going Rory at plus 1750. Rory has a lot of Taurus in that chart, and that's the 10,000 career receiver from Aquarius Moon. We'll see. Cam Young at plus 2,200 as well. Justin Thomas at plus 3,500, who does have Taurus and Leo in his chart, and a Libra Jupiter. That's great with the Aquarius Moon on Thursday. Patrick Cantlay at plus 3,800 has an Aquarius Mars, so that's why I like him to play well under Aquarius Moon. Tommy Fleetwood at plus 3,500 on the first round with all the Aquarius Jupiter and Midheaven he has in his chart. Give me Akshay Bhatia at plus 5,100 with all the Aquarius he has in his. Nick Taylor also has an Aquarius Mars plus 6,300. Eric Cole, all that Gemini in his chart, and a Taurus Jupiter, plus 7,600 in the first round. And maybe he just comes out and just keeps it rolling from this last week into the first round. And then Michael Kim, have not mentioned him at all, but plus 7,800 in the first round, has a really favorable chart for day one, especially with the Taurus and Libra in his chart. And then lastly, Tom Hoagie at plus 13,500. Great chart. Taurus, Midheaven, Aquarius, Moon, a lot of Gemini in his chart as well. Plus 13,500. That's the biggest long shot first round leader in a while. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, 2 more real quick. I'll wrap this up in like 3 minutes. I had to push record one more time. Okay. Top UK and Ireland. I'm gonna go Tommy Fleetwood at plus 540. I'm gonna go Shane Lowry at plus 1,050. I haven't talked about Shane yet. I did write him down. Does have some Pisces in his chart and Taurus. But Shane Lowry, like, I don't know. We'll see. So maybe Tommy will just take care of that for us. And then lastly, top rest of the world. I'm going to go Nick Taylor plus 1,100. That's a risky pick because there's a lot of really good players this week in that category. So we'll see. And was there anything else? No, I think that's it. We're just about an hour now. Yeah, I don't know. Weird week. We'll see how it goes. But I do think Scotty and Nelly. I wonder if you parlay. Actually, let's do that real quick. Let's do that real quick. Parlay Scotty to win and parlay it with Nelly to win. Comes out plus 1726. So I will write that down. I do like that. I'll throw a little unit on that. Nelly plus Scotty plus 1726. Those, I'm pretty confident in those two winning, but dude, it's been a weird few weeks lately, so we'll see. All right, well, that just about wraps it up. Yeah, like I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. You can hit me up at starsandparspodcast@gmail.com for questions, or people I didn't talk about. You have ID questions, whatever, sponsorships, hit me up. Find me there. I'm on TikTok, stars.and.pars.po, and keep an eye out. I am considering starting a Discord. Probably going to figure that out this week. And if I do, I'll announce it next week, and then I'll put the link up on my podcast page and stuff. Because I want a place that we can like chit chat, and like I don't feel embarrassed to talk about astrology and golf, because sometimes I do. But go figure, I have a freaking podcast about this. All right. Other than that, I believe that's all I have to say. Best of luck to everybody. I hope we do get some more winners this week. Last week was good. From a correct, I guess, picking point of view, but hopefully we make some more profit this week is really where we're trying to get out here. So, all right, I got to get rolling. Thanks again. Take care. This is the Stars and Pars podcast with your host, Evan Engel, the show where golf betting meets astrology. We will see y'all next week. Take care. Be safe. We will see you then.